my name is Mandana White and I'm the CEO of Smart Grid Forums. And today I'm delighted to tell you that I'm joined by Neil Meredith, who is the lead solution architect for SSEN distribution. Welcome, Neil.
Welcome, and good to speak to you again, Mandana.
Great. So Neil, you've kindly agreed to speak at our IEC CIM Week 2022 conference in March in London. Delighted to have you on the speaker lineup, and you're going to be addressing the issue of CIM for flexibility markets, which is a fairly advanced topic. So I'd just like to give our viewers a bit of an insight into what you're going to be covering and actually what you're working on within SSEN. So let's start with the drivers. What were the initial drivers for launching this project on CIM for flexibility markets? What were SSEN hoping to achieve here?
Okay, so to answer that, we'll go back in history a bit in our organisation and where we started with CIM. I think it'll give you a view of how we've ended up where we are now. So going back a few years ago, our initial driver for adopting CIM was really quite internally focused, I would say. And we realised we needed a common messaging model for exchanging information between our bid select CIM. It was an eye to the future. Was that that there is going to be a need for sharing more information externally, and that ought to be done using a standard model. And CIM, to us was the ideal candidate for us. So we started there with that internal integration. Now, 2 or 3 years ago, within the UK, the government, the regulator, sponsored something called the Energy Data Task Force. And that came up with a set of recommendations across the UK energy industry. One of those was something called open data. And this was really, telling us, we need to be sharing more of our data from distribution operators and transmission operators, whoever we might be, making that data more available to the outside world. And this was with a view to, digitising the energy industry better. So part of that, we have to be able to share that data. So yes, there was that recommendation. Okay, we were obliged to start sharing data, but it's not just there's that stick, if you like. There's benefits to us. We're transitioning to becoming a distribution system operator, and to do that, we're reliant on using flexibility resources. Whether that's things to increase change, demand and supply on our network. Distributed energy resources. Also, increased electrification of our network. That's really starting to happen in the UK. More electric vehicles, more charging points, more heat pumps being installed. So much more electrification of our network, and more people we need to engage with. So if we're going to be successful in both of those things, we need to make it as easy as possible for people to work with us, for us to work with them. So this sharing of data is key to that. And CIM is going to be one of the ways we can do it. So there's another part to this. So CIM for us isn't just a way of exchanging information between our own systems and the outside world. We realised that particularly if we're going to share the data to the outside world, we need a consistent way of representing our data. Now we have many different IT systems and OT systems, for that matter. They all have their own proprietary data models. Only a few of them are CIM compatible. So if we bring in all that data from those systems together, to join it all up, we need a common model to do that. And we have something we call a common network model. And the underlying data model for that is in itself directly derived from CIM. So it gives us a nice linkage between the data that's flowing around CIM and a data at rest representation of that data. So that gives us that common model, which then makes it easier to start sharing that data out in a consistent fashion to the consumers of that data. Underpinning all of that data is our electricity connectivity model from our GIS system, and our GIS system is CIM compliant. So we can start with that CIM model and then enhance it with all the other data we need. So that common network model to us has been quite key in that, and it's not just using it for sharing data to the outside world. Part of being able to move to this, becoming a DSO and using flexibility services is we've got to start using, artificial intelligence and machine learning as well. And again, so we need a consistent set of data to operate on that. And again, this is where this common network model based on CIM comes in.
Yeah. Great. Okay. Well, so far on your journey in utilising SIM for the flexibility markets in particular, what have been the biggest lessons that you've learned, or issues that you've uncovered and insights you've generated that could help other utilities across Europe who are about to embark on this?
So two lessons really. It became quite clear early on, if you're going to be successful with SIM, it's not just a business thing, it's not just an IT thing. You really need to be, it's both. You need business experts who understand the data, understand the network, understand, and going back to flexibility market, understand that market, what data we need to provide. So you need that sort of deep business expertise, but equally you need the IT expertise that can use models like SIM and can work out how do you make that data available, what's the best way of doing it, making it secure, sharing it in as easy as possible as fashion. So you really need that joined up. So what you need to be successful in both, you need a champion, a business champion and an IT champion. And yes, we're fortunate in our organisation, we've got both now. So I have a colleague within the business work very closely with, who promotes the use of SIM and the sharing of data into the flexibility markets, and myself, who can make sure what we're doing in IT is moving us towards that. We're putting the right architectural components in, and the platforms and the models that are going to get us there. The second lesson is, if you're new to SIM, at first glance, it probably will seem complicated and it may seem difficult. So again, early on, we learned, let's not try and bite off the whole of SIM in one go. We'd probably fail, I think, if we did that. So the route we've taken is we take specific use cases. So we started with those internal integration use cases. And we just looked at those parts of the SIM model we needed to do those integrations. And as we added more integrations, we'd add more of the SIM model to start using. And that's going to be the same with the opening up the data to the flexibility markets. We'll look at what data we need from SIM and build from there. Yeah,
great. Okay. And in terms of the longer term vision for SIM, how do you want to utilise the standard going forward? What are your goals and aspirations for it?
So my personal goal is just going back to this common network model based on SIM. I want to get all of our data into that common model. So from all of our systems, and that includes some of the external feeds of data as well. There's useful data out there as well. So the car dealerships, people installing charge points, if we can understand what they're doing in the electric vehicle market, that's useful data for us. So let's bring all that data together. Now that's going to take a few years to do it, but that then gives us the platform to do that data sharing with the outside world as we move forward. And we're going to have to do it. Talked about us becoming a DSO and the increased electrification of the UK energy network. So we have to be doing that. So I'm pleased to say we've got a SSEN distribution publishes a digital strategy, which we update every few months. And the idea of this common network model and the data sharing and SIM is part of that. Equally, going into our next regulatory period, which starts in 2023, part of our business plan and the IT investment plan that goes alongside that sets out what we're going to do in terms of sharing data using SIM and a common network model. So it's good to see that commitment now we've got at an organisational level.
Right.
So at the conference, I will talk about one specific project we're doing right now. It's providing what we call near real-time data. So it's like SCADA data, but we provided that in SIM format. And that's available through a website, and we're just building some APIs now so people can actually exchange information more systematically. So that's one of the first steps into this, using SIM, and we'll build on that. But those projects like that are putting in all the foundations we need to make it easier to do more and more of this in the future.
Right. Okay. Well, we're really looking forward to hearing more about your projects at the conference in March. So thank you so much for taking the time today, Neil, to speak to us. My final question for you is, what do you personally want to take away from the conference? What are you hoping to achieve by participating this year?
So part of it, so hopefully we will be face to face again this year.
Yes.
The first
100% sure we will.
The first of the SIM conferences I attended was face to face, and it was fairly early on in my own sort of learning about CIM. So meeting some of the experts there, I made some really good contacts and learned a lot just from that networking. Never mind some of the great sessions. So there's that. Yes, looking forward to that again. But really, wanting to understand, well, what are other people doing in terms of this, sharing data to flexibility service providers, or for those involved in low carbon technology. So what's everybody else doing? Something I can learn from.
Yeah, great, good. All right, well, we look forward to seeing you at the conference and to hearing your insights, and also welcoming you as a participant too for the rest of the event. Thank you so much, Neil. You have a wonderful day today, and we look forward to seeing you in March. Bye for now.
Yes, thank you, Mandana. I'll see you soon.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video insightful and enjoyable. We post new smart grid related videos every Friday at 12 CET, so please go ahead and subscribe and let colleagues in other departments and peers in other organisations know so that they can benefit too. We welcome your feedback, so if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to post them below. Thanks again and have a great day.